There is a battle taking place in Ukraine that neither side is talking about. It's not on any map, and yet it could change the tide of the war. We're talking about the silent battle, the battle of electronic warfare. And tonight, we'll tell you all about it. You know what they say about the first casualty of war? Can you guess what it is? It's truth. Truth is the first casualty of war. Lies, misinformation, and propaganda take over, and only the loudest voice wins. That's what's happening in Ukraine right now. Both sides are busy projecting their own version of events. But one thing they agree on is that electronic warfare is the name of the game. Russia may have failed to achieve its military objectives so far, but in the field of electronic warfare, it has had some success. Ukraine admits this, and Western officials say they cannot independently verify Ukraine's claims. So we don't really know how much damage has been done. But we do know that Russian electronic warfare systems are at work in Ukraine. They are targeting Ukrainian military communications, and most importantly, disrupting their drone operations. Why drones? Because they've become an integral part of modern warfare, and Ukraine is using them extensively. These are mostly small drones which can be controlled from miles away. They help troops on the ground gather intel, also engage enemy troops without putting the operator at risk. In short, they're a force multiplier, so naturally both sides are making extensive use of them. According to the US, these Russian systems are designed to block data from reaching its intended target. They also jam signals, confuse soldiers, and destroy equipment. How? Through electromagnetic energy. Russian electronic warfare systems send out radio waves to disrupt and deceive. This disrupts the flow of critical information, so soldiers on the ground cannot communicate properly. Drones cannot reach their targets. Weapons cannot be deployed effectively. In the 21st century, the battle is not just about tanks and missiles. It's also about who controls the electromagnetic spectrum, and so far, Russia seems to be winning this battle. We know this because Ukraine is saying it. Kiev has repeatedly claimed that Russian electronic warfare systems are hampering their ability to defend their airspace. On March 8th, for instance, the Ukrainian Air Force said Russian electronic warfare disrupted the operation of some air defense systems. 2 days later, they admitted that Russian choppers were flying into Ukrainian airspace and dropping electronic warfare equipment. The choppers would then fire at Ukrainian positions using the Vampire electronic warfare system. All of this was happening in the Kharkiv region. This was almost a month back. Since then, there have been other reports. According to Ukrainian media, Russian forces are using the Krakow and the Donbass to jam mobile phone networks. Also, to disrupt satellite communications, the Krakow is a Russian-made electronic warfare system. It's designed to block cellular communications over an area the size of 33,000 square kilometers. That's the size of Belgium. So you can imagine how difficult it is for Ukrainian troops to coordinate their attacks. And all this disruption comes at a time when Ukraine is gearing up for a counteroffensive. Reports say the Ukrainian troops are using homemade drones to collect intel on Russian positions. But those drones are not always lucky. Sometimes they get jammed mid-air and crash. Sometimes they reach the target but fail to return the live feed. What does that tell you? That the silent battle is intensifying. For every drone Ukraine sends into the air, Russia is deploying a system to shoot it down. For every signal Ukraine sends, Russia is deploying a system to intercept it. So let me tell you a little bit about electronic warfare. What is it exactly? Simply put, it's the use of the electromagnetic spectrum to attack enemy communications. It's a tried and tested tactic. During the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Union kept sending out radio signals to jam each other's communications. During the 1990s war in Bosnia, NATO used electronic warfare to jam Serbian TV broadcasts. In 2014, Russian forces reportedly used electronic warfare to jam Ukrainian radio frequencies. Today, it's become an integral part of warfare and the most important tool in the arsenal of any military. Why is that? Because it neutralizes the enemy without causing any physical damage. There are no casualties, no deaths, no injuries, but the impact is the same. You can confuse an enemy attack or stop him from communicating with his base. Reports say Russia's arsenal includes more than half a dozen electronic warfare systems. Some of them have been designed and developed indigenously. Others are based on equipment and technology stolen from the West. That's an ongoing investigation, by the way, and if you thought that's illegal, well, it is. But the Geneva Convention allows militaries to take countermeasures to neutralize enemy weapons. So technically, Russia is well within its rights. How should Ukraine counter it? One solution is to move to encrypted communications, but that comes with its own challenges. Encrypted conversations cannot be shared with international partners. Also, there is no guarantee that the troops will follow the protocol. Right now, Ukraine is doing two things. One is to report every Russian cyber attack to the International Telecommunications Union. They're doing it so that they can build a case for possible legal action against Russia. The second thing Ukraine is doing is to urge its people to use alternative communication apps. Meanwhile, Russia is moving in the opposite direction. It is jamming Ukrainian radio frequencies and blocking mobile phone towers. it is also going after satellite communications. Last month, Ukraine lost access to two-way communication with some of its military satellites. Now, this did not happen because of a technical glitch or bad weather. It happened because someone jammed the signals. Reports say Russian forces are carrying portable electronic warfare systems on their armored vehicles. Those systems are designed to block satellite communications. As you can see, the silent battle is heating up, and chances are it will only get worse.